Mike Messier, Darren Young, August 13th, 2013, that long ago. So this is over 4 years ago. I mean, time flies. Time flies. Just, that's a presidential term. That's how long ago already, since Darren Young announced, or just TMZ in the airport told the TMZ reporter he was homosexual. Kind of a spontaneous thing from all, just seeming very spontaneous. The TMZ guy said, hey, do you think there'll ever be a wrestler who's gay, a WWE wrestler that's gay? And Darren Young told him that he was, in fact. And very, kind of candidly, offhandedly, no big deal. And no big deal. It was no big deal. But the problem was, it was no big deal. And my whole thing with that, and I remember when it happened, and telling a friend of mine, giving my friend an immediate pitch, and as wrestling fans, you'll do this. You'll say, God damn, shouldn't they do this? Shouldn't they do this? We all have these fucking ideas. But of course, without the access to this fucking Titan Tower, this moat around it, we can't pitch our ideas, obviously, and that's fine. No, actually, it's not, because I'd be doing a better job than they would. I would have made it a big deal. I would have made the angle that I presented, which of course it was just me talking to a friend on the phone. But if I had the ear of Triple H, fucking whoever the fuck, Vince McMahon, I'd say, this is what you do. You have the next Monday Night Raw, after Darren Young came out as a homosexual, you have the show begin with, first of all, you put out the whole Twitter and all that crap. Triple H has some words for Darren Young tonight. You start a little buzz. What's he going to do? Congratulate him? What the hell could they be doing with this primetime wrestler tag team guy that just said he was homosexual with Triple H? There was no program. What are they doing? So you put out the little buzz. Then Monday Night Raw starts business as usual, and you have Triple H come out to the ring. And then he puts a little preface out there. Hey, Darren Young, whatever happens here tonight, I just want you to know you're part of the family. I respect you. You're one of the boys. Whatever the fuck. Put some preface out there just to kind of put the pillow on this bullet that I'm coming up with. Then, basically Triple H says to Darren Young, because you have to bring out Darren Young, and you bring him out by himself. You don't let his buddy Titus come out with him. It's another story. You have Triple H basically say, and he's got a suitcase like a Halliburton with him, Triple H, and he says, Darren Young, we saw your announcement, TMZ. And then the fans pop, and they chant, we still love you, or you deserve it, whatever the fuck they would have chanted. I want you to know you'll always have a place here in the world of wrestling entertainment. But when you make an announcement of that magnitude, historic announcement, you do it for your employer. You do it on our time. And then Triple H basically would say that, hey, my Triple H is pretty good tonight. You should have made your little announcement not in some airport in the middle of nowhere. You should have made it tonight in this ring. So I'm going to give you the chance to be the superstar that you should have been all along. I'm going to give you a chance to represent your people. And then he starts putting the little chides in there, like starts saying things that are like your people, starts saying things that are a little discriminatory, going into that 2003 era Booker T feud, where he starts saying, wait a minute, is Triple H turning sour on this guy? And then Triple H would, and Darren Young's just kind of looking around, but Triple H won't let him talk, he won't give him the mic, and he says, so what I want you to do, Darren Young, we want you to be the first. And I think this was the Authority, so they had M&M security at the time. We want you to be the first openly homosexual competitor in our business. And then he opens up the briefcase, and he takes out a pair of pink trunks, like obnoxious neon pink trunks, fuchsia, okay? And then he presents these trunks to Darren Young. And Darren Young is looking at these trunks. He's like, what am I? He's like looking at these, examining the trunks. He's holding them up, and he's looking at them. And Triple H is like, then why don't you just go in the back we'll get a little closet for you to change in, put your little pink trunks on. And then Darren Young waves off the trunks. He's not going to wear the pink trunks. Then Triple H pulls out another pair of trunks. And it's got like a rainbow triangle on it. And he's like, well, if you don't like those pink trunks, we used to have a guy who used to wear pink around here, and makes a little Bret Hart, jab. Why don't you try on these? And then he gives him the rainbow triangle trunks, making really just blatant. And basically Triple H is getting at in this character that I'm developing, or, this fucking hypothetical what-if storyline that didn't happen because I wasn't on the writing team like I should have been. Triple H is basically pitching to Darren Young right in the middle of the ring that he will start wrestling with rainbow triangle trunks. And of course, Darren Young doesn't want to do that. Then they go to maybe another scenario, and then it gets really obnoxious. He pulls out like, some type of outfit, some type of discriminatory outfit. Something with like a bunny out. I mean, they did the bunny though. That's the problem. They did all these weird things. But something, or that he gives him presents. Triple H gives him presents, and then you can get pretty hardcore with this. Of course, this is PG era, so all the things I'm saying, it's for these fans today, it might not be well received. But the point is, he could bring out a fruitcake, like a literal fruitcake, which everybody hates fruitcake. But the idea is that's a discriminatory term for a homosexual. Start doing all these evil things because he's Triple H. He's the evil commissioner. Now what gets to happen? Darren Young gets to beat him up. Darren Young gets to fight him. Darren Young gets to fight Triple H. So you've taken, and maybe they can do a thing where Triple H tries to turn his tag team partner against him or whatever the fuck. But to me, the great crime of Darren Young's career is that the most interesting thing that he's revealed, this real life thing, was not used for storyline purposes. Now you can say, well, blah, blah. You know what? It's wrestling. I mean, if you're going to go through the trouble of being gay and be a wrestler, why not use it for the storyline? And of course, some people will react and say, oh, that's discriminatory, blah, blah, blah. Have they done anything with him since? Have they? Make Darren Young great again? I mean, what kind of crap is that? I mean, Titus is not wrestling, and I don't quite understand at all why Titus O'Neil, unless he's got some injury I don't know about, maybe his forearm is sore from grabbing Vince McMahon's arm on Raw 3 years ago, whatever the fuck. But what have they done with Darren Young that's better than what I'm proposing? Now, of course, granted, I'm doing this video 4 years too fucking late, which I guess is my fault. But the Darren Young angle I'm suggesting, I don't know if you could do it now. It's 4 years. But they haven't done anything with him anyway. So what difference does it make? But basically, my point is, people might watch this video and get offended and say, oh, you're trying to take advantage. But the problem is, take a look. Okay, let's go there. Mike Kanellis, Mike Bennett, the pills. And you can say, well, that's different. What's different about it? I mean, you could go a whole storyline with that. You can just do it like, oh, I just tweeted that I have a pill problem, or I overcame it, and I love my wife and all that good stuff. Why not make it an angle? If you're going to be a wrestler, obviously your life is, okay, look, John Cena, 40 years old, 39 years old, WrestleMania this past year. He proposes in the middle of the ring. Does John Cena need the push to propose a wedding to his chick, Nikki Bella, in the middle of the ring? Does he need to do it that way? No. But he's still trying to get himself over, even because he's on the fifth. Well, he even said it himself. He's in the mid-card. He's a mid-card maniac at WrestleMania. So John Cena uses his real-life marriage proposal to put himself over as much as he can if it works. My point is, I think, Darren Young, God bless him, good for him. He wasted that opportunity with the TMZ. Did the TMZ guy give him any money for that announcement? I mean, and you could say, oh, well, it's not about money. I remember at the time, or a year ago or something, or two, time flies, doesn't it? WWE or Stephanie was saying, oh, we're going to start incorporating LGBT characters. We're going to start doing diversity. Have they done that? Have they? I mean, maybe I've missed out, but I don't. I mean, the only time they've ever done lesbian stuff, they've done lesbian, like Mickie James has a crush on Trish, or whoever the fuck. Dawn Marie has a crush on Tori Wilson. Ooh, Sable has a crush on Tori Wilson, and then Billy and Chuck. So anything WWE has ever done about homosexuality has always been exploitive. My idea was to play off of that and have Triple H try to exploit Darren Young, but instead Darren Young tells him to go fuck himself and beats him up and has a match. So if anyone's misinterpreting this video, that's your fault, your problem. I'm not trying to make fun of Darren Young. I'm saying that his cool thing that he had to say, he could have used that, or the WWE and him could have cooperated to make it a storyline to make his career better. Because now it's 4 years later, and like, wow, that's fast 4 years, but he hasn't done anything. So blah 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 blah. Mike Messier. That's my video on time warp creative fucking WWE booking. So yeah, I did have a fucking job interview with WWE, and some people might say, who's this fucking asshole with his thoughts? I had a job interview with WWE, and maybe I'll get into that in the next video. Why wasn't I hired? Blame God. Blame the weather. I mean, it's a whole goddamn long story, but they should have hired me because you'd be getting better wrestling. I mean, actually, probably would have happened. They probably would have taken my best ideas, which I would have been an idiot and given them all to them on day one, taking my best ideas, fired me within 6 months, like they fire everybody who's got talent and has integrity. And I probably would have gotten 50,000 or 100,000 out of it, and then I'd be done. And you'd be watching my ideas, but I wouldn't get any credit for it, unless I was some asshole in the friendly tap with Tim White in Rhode Island telling about how I used to be a wrestler writer for 6 months. So that's it, Mike Messier. Bye.